The House of Dragon Season 2 finale, seriously disappointed, but it did bring out some Game of Thrones characters. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. It was a finale filled with garbage. It was filler written all over it. There just wasn't an awful lot happening, to tell you the least, man. It just sucked. Alright, we've had 7 episodes up to this one with pretty much nothing. Episode 4 was action packed, but the rest of this season has literally just been building towards a war. And Daemon has been wasted up at Harrenhal, recruiting a bunch of jobbers that could literally get took out by one bit of breath for a dragon. Isn't exactly the greatest bit of television you'll ever see. I mean, seriously, like, how many people's Daemon actually like recruited up in Harrenhal? We seen Tywin Lannister literally just walk up to the patriarchy and probably produce the same amount of men, if not more, as Daemon, and it took him like 10 minutes in a mud wrestling competition. Can people not see the problems with that? How Daemon is a much bigger character than Tywin, by the way, right? And here he is, wasting 8 episodes. And then it just doesn't make any sense. So he recruits all these men. You think, right, Daemon might do it alone. He might just storm up the King's Landing by himself and lay the smack down. But it turns out he was doing it for his wife. You know, no, his niece, that's his wife. Oh yeah, how messed up is this? So essentially, what happens here is Daemon seen a few visions. And I'm beginning to think these few visions has made him actually switch allegiance from himself to Rhaenyra. Did he bottle it? Did Daemon Targaryen bottle it? But let's talk about the visions, shall we? Of course, he sees the White Walkers. Again, we've seen White Walkers before, but he's seen visions of White Walkers from what appears to be the Game of Thrones timeline. Obviously, in Game of Thrones, like, oh, White Walkers haven't been seen for hundreds of years. House of the Dragon is set just under 200 years before Game of Thrones. Could we see white dragons in House of the Dragon? I actually don't think we will. I think they did that more in Game of Thrones, and they'll want to stay clear of that. We want to keep the dragons going, damn it. Will House of the Dragon end, though, with like the last ever dragon being killed for this timeline? Obviously, Daenerys does get dragons back eventually in Game of Thrones, but I think we probably will see the last dragon die. It'll be like the extinction event of the dinosaurs, but for dragons. And he did see Daenerys as well. Again, a young Daenerys. It's just filler, isn't it? It's like, we're not going to give you an episode, but here, a lot of these nerds that watch this show and for whatever reason just suck George R. R. Martin off, whatever his fucking name is, right? They'll think this is a great episode if we throw a couple of wee Game of Thrones Easter eggs in there. No, I just don't understand the logic here. I don't. I mean, it was a cameo that pretty much added nothing. You know, if this cameo was on top of an already great episode, it could have been very well the icing on the cake. But being like the only thing in the episode that probably was worth a damn, there's no icing on the cake. The icing, it's off. The cake needs binned. The cake needs to go in the bin. And there's not really much fallout, by the way, from this season 2 finale. You know, usually when we finish shows, like, you've got to wait a couple of years. Like, there's a lot of fids to make on it. Seriously, I look at this and I'm thinking, there's hee-haw happening, to be perfectly honest with you.